Now, if you watch my channel, you may have seen a video I did about Lamy safari killers. Well, today, a new pen has entered the chat, and this one is by Nahvalur. So let's talk about this pen and see if it kills a Lamy safari. Hey everyone, I'm Dave with Beastmade Reviews, of course a channel dedicated to reviewing quality products that bring your life value. Now if you're into pens, you probably have a Lamy safari, you probably actually really like the Lamy safari, and if you watch my video about Lamy safari killers, I had several different pens that I suggested that really competed with the Lamy safari. Well, I didn't have this one at the time. This one is the newest pen by Nahvalur called the Nahvalur Triad. If I did, this definitely would have been in the video, but today I'm just going to add it anyway. So welcome to Lamy Safari Killers Part 1.2. Now, Nahvalur is a pen brand that I really like to follow. They have a great range of pens that offer a lot of features and value for a really affordable price. It really kind of outclasses its price point. I've reviewed several on the channel and I really like them a lot. They've never come across as like a cheaper brand to me. They're always kind of that middle tier of price and they really excel at that price point. But when they released the Triad, it really got my attention because they stepped into a newer tier of price. This is definitely an affordable entry-level pen with a lot of charm, really good features here, and it's a great pen. But before we jump into that, if you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe down below. If you like anything about pens, fashion, EDC, gear, anything in between, anything quality and cool, I think you really like it here. And if you're interested in these Triad pens, I'll have some links down below, and those are affiliate links. Anytime you buy through that, it will help support the channel, and I always really appreciate it when you do that. Thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the review with some specs on the pen. Now, length closed is 5.12 inches. It has a snap cap and is postable. The length posted is 5.56 inches. Diameter is 0.67 inches. The weight is 0.53 ounces. This is made of ABS plastic. It comes in 4 colors: a clear demonstrator, chocolate, blue, and black. They have these pens in either a fountain pen or a rollerball option. For the fountain pens, the nib is a number 5 sized steel nib with a plastic feed, and they offer it in fine or medium. These take standard short international cartridges, and one is provided, but they can also use a Schmidt converter too if you have one. All right, there is a lot to love about the Triad pen, so let's start about the things I really love about the pen. Now first, I love this entry-level price point. I think there's a lot of competition here, and a lot of the competition has kind of forced these pen companies to make really good pens for a cheap price, and this is no different. I think the Triad pen really offers a lot here for the money. It's very good and very unique, and I think as far as an entry-level cheaper pen, it gets almost all of the details just right, at least the major ones. I also love the shape of this. This has a kind of triangular shape that goes over the entire pen. That's pretty cool. It sits perfectly in your hand. There's no right or wrong way to hold it in your hand, so it's very comfortable. And it does have a triangular style grip section, which does remind me somewhat of the Lamy Safari, but this one is a little bit less acute. It also is a little bit rubberized, so it has a lot of traction and a lot of grip. The grip section is also a little larger in the hand, which makes it very comfortable to write with and hold. Especially writing for long writing sessions, this is great. Another thing I really like about this is that there's almost a seamless design between the grip section and the barrel here. There's no lip or edge or threads at all, so if you have a different style of grip, or if you like to hang back a little bit on the grip section, you're not going to feel anything other than just the outside smooth edge of the pen. I love that. The triangular design also is great if you want to set the pen down on a table so it won't roll. When screwing the grip section onto the barrel, it always fits right into place and lines up perfectly. Very satisfying. And both the fountain pen nibs and the roller balls have great ink flow. They write really well and they're very wet. And for the fountain pen nibs, they have just the right amount of feedback in there. It's tuned very well. I think all the colors look pretty good as well. They have a nice range of pretty standard colors. And I think the demonstrator is probably my favorite here. It's just a nice frosted clear pen. Really cool. All right, now let's get to a few cons here. Now I do have some nitpicks here and they're not really deal killers. I have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt because this is, under $20 for a pen. You're not going to get a perfect pen, but for the sake of the review, I do want to talk about some of the things I think are cons here. First is the clip. This is not a great clip. It's a pretty cheap and functional one, and it's very bendy. I don't really like clips in general, so it's not huge for me, but it's still a quibble here. Next, the cap is angled on the bottom, which means that if you don't post the cap, but prefer to set the cap down on a table, you can't stand it up. And this is something I do quite a bit. So for me, this is pretty annoying. Next, the cap on the demonstrator just will not post, and I don't know why. The other colors post perfectly, but the demonstrator just will not stay there. Another quirk here with these pens is that the rollerball internal feed is kind of hard to clean. So if you like to change inks a lot, you may have some residual ink mixing into the new ink, and you may have to take some extra time to clean out the pen. Next, the plastic is nice, but there is some flashing and some little plastic edges and nubs here and there. I don't expect perfection, but this is just something to think about. Next, the rollerball is very nice, and I love the option, but your paper quality really matters here. Good quality paper will be nice and smooth, but cheaper paper will start to add some grittiness in the way that it writes, and that gets really annoying on a rollerball. All right, let's get to some writing samples here. The first one we're going to start with is the demonstrator. Now this demonstrator is a rollerball with the standard cartridge that was provided by Narwhal. It's very nice, and I really like the rollerball on this a lot. The line on this is somewhere between a medium and a broad. It's very smooth, and the ink color is just okay. It's a nice wet ink, but it's a very standard blue ink. It's not my favorite color, honestly. But I'm just going to switch this out because this pen writes great. All right, next up we have the black pen, and this is also a rollerball. This time it's with the black ink from Venustus called Canna di Fucile. This is a very nice wet black ink with some kind of charcoal shading here and there. It's not the absolute darkest black ink I've ever seen, but it's nice. I like this too. And again, the rollerball in this black one is great. Next pen here is the blue one, and this one is a fountain pen with a fine nib. And the ink I have here is Noodler's Bay State Blue, which is infamous in the pen world, but I really like how saturated and almost neon color this ink is. It almost hurts to look at, which I think is kind of cool. And the fine nib on this pen is actually very nice. Now, fine nibs are not my go-to, but this is an excellent fine. It's very smooth with a pleasant feedback, and it has great ink flow. All right, last one here is the brown pen, and this is also a fountain pen, and this time this one is in a medium point. And the ink I'm using here is Kiyo no Oto 10 Ochiguri Iro. Say that 10 times fast. I love this brown. It's a great kind of in-between walnut and golden brown color. It has a good bit of shading here, and the medium nib on this pen is great. It's a great writer, similar to the fine, it's just larger. A really good medium size here. All right, now let's compare the pen to the Lamy Safari here. Now this gets pretty interesting here because these are very inexpensive pens, very different types of pens as well. The Lamy is a classic pen with a classic design, but still looks a little weird, especially comparing these two back to back. The Triad looks more normal, but somehow doesn't look quite as nice as the Safari. And I'm not exactly sure why this is. It may have something to do with the finish of the plastic on the Safari, which is more shiny, whereas the finish on the Triad is more matte or eggshell for the plastic. The Lamy colors just pop more, I think, and the finish of the Safari is just a little bit better. The Triad in size is slightly shorter, but a little bit wider. And the grip of the Triad is far better and way more comfortable. And I really like the Lamy Safari, but the grip on the Triad is just leagues better. And as a bonus, the Triad doesn't roll either. The nibs are very different. The Lamy Safari has a unique nib that is love or hate. It's stiff, but writes smoothly. It's a very different experience writing with the Triad. I think Narwhal did a great job at making a competing pen that is different than the Lamy. You see that they thought a lot about the design features, and it sits in that same price point, in that same spot, but really differentiates itself. Overall, I think the Triad is a great pen. Two great pens here. Which one is my favorite? And I'm not really sure. I think both of them have their pros and their cons here. But if we're just looking at the Narwhal here, this is an excellent pen with a great line of products and colors and options right away. And it has some things that I really prefer here. I really like the triangular design with the flats. I really love the grip section with the actual grip there and the fact that it's a little larger as well. The roller balls are great. The price is great. And Narwhal has proven to me at least that not only do they excel at that medium price point range of pens, but now they excel in this really entry-level, inexpensive price point. This pen is exceptional. Now, of course, these are not the perfect unicorn pen that will win over the most picky pen person, me. But if you want a comfortable pen that writes well, is cheap, and offers a lot, definitely check out the Triad. I really highly recommend it. So that is all I have today. Definitely go and check out the Narwhal Triad. I think you really like this pen, and if you're looking for a really good beater pen, inexpensive pen to try out, definitely give this one a chance. And of course, you can go check it out at the links down below. Thank you again for watching. Have you checked out the Triad yet? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with Beastmade Reviews.